Triflin. She must be from Telvanni Islands.
Shoddy Triflin. She must be from Treasure Island. Shit dripping. Shit look like a Disney World turkey leg. I don't know if those have a name, but that's what I imagine.
They're just turkey legs.
They're fucking delicious.
I don't think I've ever had a turkey leg from Disney when I think about it.
I definitely have had a few. I know that.
And none of the times that I went to Disney as a kid, it was very, very rare that we would get any of like the treats inside of Disney because it's like fucking $10 for a popsicle. I got 5 kids. Fuck that. So nothing like, the whole turkey leg. It's like, nah, I'm not doing that. Get a fucking bucket of popcorn. You can share.
Well, I had this specific treat that I always really loved. That was like a Mickey Mouse shaped Rice Krispie thing.
Yes.
With icing on the ears.
Yes.
That was my thing. My parents would always buy them for me when they'd go, and I would always get one when I'd go. Besides that, it was like the turkey leg and the ice cream bar. I probably had some other kind of Disney World treat, but besides that, I just was enjoying the atmosphere.
I think last time I went to Disneyland in 2018. Also, the first time I ever had a churro.
Oh, the churros! I've also had the churros.
Classic Disney churro.
The churro.
Baller video, great history. Disney's forgotten failed food, the handwich.
The handwich. What is the handwich?
It was like a cone of bread loaded with the ingredients of a sandwich. It was like an ice cream cone of bread.
That sounds delicious.
I mean, it didn't look bad per se, but they had like, if I remember the Defunct Land video about it, it was kind of questionable.
I need a picture of this. I'm going to look this up.
Yeah, go look it up.
Handwich. Damn, this looks crazy. Like, why are some of these like a mozzarella buffalo melt?
Yeah, it's just like whatever food you can stuff into a cone of bread.
They just like cut a croissant in half and emptied it out and then filled it with the sandwich materials.
It's crazy.
I could definitely see this being good though.
Disney also, they used to have, and this is, it still fascinates me to this day. I don't know why it's one piece of Disney lore that still fascinates me. I think it was Epcot, whatever. They used to do like this is what the future of the home will look like. Instead of having like tech expo kind of things going on there. But they also just had like an entire section dedicated entirely to milk. It was just like houses and things and just like whatever. Everything was milk. Every food you could get there, every theming of the area, everything was white. It was all milk.
Well, as they say, milk is superior. All right, cut the intro in here. Welcome to the first episode of Closing Shift. I am your host, Cosmic Emerald, and I am joined here by my other host, my co-host, if you will, Rotting Coffee, aka Mia.
Me.
Also, me being aka Emmy from earlier, as you heard, the Cosmic Emerald one. Welcome to our show.
AKA Closing Shift.
Yeah, aka the host from Closing Shift, Emmy and Mia.
AKA I grew up in the United Wastes of America. AKA I'm a communist. See me after class for literature.
I have to admit that I am glad that I remembered that we changed the name of our show, because I was like not entirely sure what to say at first with the intro, and then I was like, oh yeah. It like hit me in an oh yeah moment right as I was saying it.
I'm so glad that our show has so many fewer words.
Yeah. I'd be like, welcome back to the late night with Big and Wow. So many words.
It's too much.
Just like, yeah, like it's like a handwich. It's just too much all at once. You don't want to take it bite by bite. So that's why we have Closing Shift. I mean, we built this out of late night. And the reason being because we are not to continue with such regular ongoing Big Wow Big activities, but we wanted to continue our podcast because we also like having a show to talk on.
Yeah, we should probably cover like what this means exactly for Big Wow Big, what happened to that, where we are now, and what the plan for that is going forward.
Here's your coverage for it all. Here's your coverage. It's fine. That's your coverage.
Don't worry about it, babe.
Don't worry about it. This is your coverage. Yeah, don't worry about it. I definitely think we should all. I definitely think we should let you all know. That's why if you go to our Patreon, you can find out what's gonna happen to Big Wow Big.
Oh my god, I still haven't gotten back to by fucking trying to set up
PayPal.
Trying to set up PayPal for like a business account thing for closing shift to make it easy. And I just got fucking soft locked by PayPal. Believe it or not, you can get soft locked by PayPal.
It's just PayPal. PayPal. It's just like piss pal. It's just like piss poor, piss pal, piss PayPal.
I was like, yeah, I want to go to the settings. I want to deactivate the account so I can still use this email. And just,
it's because you put closing shift where the legal name went. I remember.
Yeah, the account name. I was like, oh, the account name. This is going to be the closing shift account. And there's like, whatever, like legal name things. Right. I was like, oh, it didn't say legal name. It's just like name. It's like, that's just what I wanted the name for the account. And so it's like, I want to go into the settings to deactivate the account so that way I can make it again and have proper like settings, because to have a PayPal account, it has to verify with your government ID. There's no government ID for closing shift. And so I tried going into the settings. I can't send my ID to PayPal to have them verify the account because, my legal name isn't closing shift. Honestly, I think it'd be easier to just do that. Just change my name to closing shift. PayPal has this fun feature where you can't access your account settings without verifying your account with a government ID. But I can't verify my account with a government ID because my legal name isn't closing shift. So I can't deactivate the account. It's stuck there until PayPal support gets back to me, which they haven't. It's been like a week.
I have had extremely similar situations with different websites that they will not let me in. They're like, we need to send you an email to verify to this email. We sent an email. I'm like, yeah, here's the problem though, friend. That email doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So there's literally no way I can verify this information for you. And then they will not let me in. And then I gotta call up the company and be like, excuse me, you have stupid rules and I need help.
All right, so back to before I interrupted with the PayPal. The plan that we have going forward for closing shift for Big Wow Big.
For us.
This is the long and short of it, the easiest way to summarize it. Closing Shift is a podcast that we do. When we do a podcast, it's Closing Shift. Late Night with Big and Wow, for all intents and purposes, this is kind of the same thing. It's kind of just Late Night with Big and Wow Season 2, but we've rebranded. We're on a different thing. And the reason why we've rebranded, we have a good reason for this. Get your tissues ready now, folks. You're about to be crying rivers.
Take your seats firmly on your toilets before you all shit your pants from this.
Big Wow Big, as you know it, is semi-retired. Going forward, we are not...
It's over.
It's over. Wrap it
Sorry.
up. Going forward, we are not going to be recording Let's Play content for Big Wow Big. And if we figure that if we're not doing Let's Plays for Big Wow Big, then there's no reason why the podcast would still be branded as Big Wow Big. Big Wow Big was the Let's Play show.
Yeah, there's no reason the podcast should be the side thing to the main thing if the main thing isn't going anymore and the main thing is the podcast now.
Yeah, it's like you have a sidecar to a motorcycle that you drove into a tree. And it's like, okay, right. You can't just ride around the sidecar. But fret not, Big Wow Big lovers, because I said semi-retired, not fully retired. We're not doing recorded Let's Play content anymore on YouTube with Big Wow Big, but Big Wow Big is going to be moving to, what are we doing, on Twitch?
Yes.
Yeah. On twitch.tv, we actually already have an account there that we streamed on like once.
Twitch.tv/BigWowBig.
Twitch.tv/BigWowBig. We are going to be, on occasion, doing a kind of a Big Wow Big format, but live there. So if you want Emmy and Mia going off on some funny gaming, then on occasion you can catch it there live. But that is not our primary focus. That's just a place to put things, kind of.
Yeah, because we still like playing games with each other, and I still like, and I mean, mainly we're just still good at talking, and it's a lot easier for some of us to talk over video games than others. So we just, we don't hate Big Wow Big. We didn't want to kill off Big Wow Big.
But we hate its fans.
But we needed a reason. What am I trying to say? We needed a way to turn it into something more accessible and flexible than what it was. Because Big Wow Big becomes a job very easily when it starts to become not fun because you're keeping up with the daily upload operations.
Yeah,
the day-to-day operations.
We still want to just play games together and have fun like we do on Big Wow Big. But the way that Big Wow Big was always, there's a reason why it disappeared several times, why there were so many hiatuses. It's because Big Wow Big, more so than being just hanging out and playing video games, doing that like rigid structure for like constantly recording and uploading Let's Plays, kind of sapped a lot of the fun out of it for both of us.
Yes.
It was like a very like strict, rigid structure that had to adhere to, and it was very draining, and it's a lot more fun to not do that format. It's a strict regiment is the word I was looking for.
And now maybe you're sitting there thinking, why would you guys do a weekly podcast then? Because that's not the same thing. We don't have to.
There's so much less happening here.
We don't have to treat finishing a game like our job. We don't have to like we can just talk for an hour every week. That is not hard.
Believe it or not, it's easier to talk with your best friend than it is to sit through Sonic Unleashed.
Yeah, I mean, like that game was insane. It's impressive because I don't know if I've ever hated a 3D Sonic that much, at least while I was playing it. It's been a while though. I haven't played many since Generations or Unleashed. And I obviously didn't finish Unleashed, but if you want some good entertaining episodes where I am very upset, then those are the ones for you.
Yeah.
Sonic Unleashed, Big Wow Big. There's like 9 of them, I think.
I'll be honest. My experience with Big Wow Big, anytime that I was not the person playing the game, I'd be about half asleep.
Yeah, it's really difficult. I mean, even for me,
clock in for 4 hours of watching somebody else play a game.
I mean, when I was the person playing the game, half the time I was half asleep. It's really hard. It's really hard. Like I would be half asleep even if I was the one playing the game, just because I would be like, holy shit, I'm like trying to like work my brain. I'm trying to overclock my brain for like something entertaining to say, and I'm just so tired.
It's like I get all the overstimulation of the video game with none of the fun of actually playing it myself.
Right, like that's what's fun about like playing a game like that with like Twitch chat, because it's just like you doing your own thing, and there's somehow more stimulation in that than when you have another person there, or at least when it's to like a digital degree like this.
Yeah. I mean, if we were side by side on a couch, then it'd be a different story, but...
Yeah, but you have to consider those things when you do a Let's Play show. And, Big Wow Big will be 3 this year.
Oh my god.
It'll be 3 years old. We started it 3 years ago.
Our little baby.
Closing shift will be 0 this year, and then 1 in January 2025. Our newborn, yeah. And then, I cannot imagine, man, like, how do people have the patience to, like, have a kid and then wait until that kid's at least developed enough to, like, do most things on its own and then have another kid? How do y'all wait that long and still want another kid? I don't understand.
I think they kind of just watch them flail around for a while, and they're just like, yeah, eventually.
She really needs to sort out her priorities.
I mean, a lot of people, though, when they have kids, that's all they're looking forward to, though, is just that baby stage and nothing else after it. They're just like, I want a cute baby that's going to be cute and be a baby. And then that baby starts to grow up, and they're like, I don't know what to do anymore.
Like, you're 6, I'm having another one.
Yeah. I'm tired of not having a little...
Honey, get in here and pop this pussy. It's time to make another one.
Warm up that womb, baby. I'm bored.
Go to your room and cover your ears now. 1-bedroom apartment, head ass.
Studio apartment.
Studio.
Go sit in the fridge.
Their room is the dishwasher. And they just take out the racks every night and put in a crib, and that's it. Be like, you can fit in if you bend your legs. Just bend your legs, you'll see. Now, can you imagine if humans had evolved in a way that their height matched their age? and every inch was a month. So
I mean, it kind of is that way when you're a baby.
right now I'd be what, 24 feet, 24.1 feet tall.
Well, if every inch matches a month, I guess, yeah, that works out pretty good because, 12,
right, because it's 12
months, yeah.
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 I'd be taller than you because I'm older than you.
Yeah, enjoy your little fantasy world.
You little baby. If you guys didn't know, fun fact, Maya here is taller than me.
Can't even say my name right.
And I love being friends with our artist, Tanya. There's just so many ways you could say all these names wrong. It's so unfortunate.
Add the tiny little bit of disrespect just to get me on your level because I'm taller. You had to bring me down a little.
You little shit. The only thing that's taller on you is your body. Guess what? My mental complex is taller than yours will ever be.
Yeah, I don't mean to exaggerate or anything, but you know when Link stands next to Prince Sidon? It's like that.
I don't know if I've actually ever seen those two characters actually in the game stand next to each other, to be honest.
For those who don't know,
I'm assuming it's like 4 foot, 6'5" or something like that.
It's dick sucking height.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Way to go, Zelda. Way to go. You created a fish with a succulent sucking dick.
Yeah.
Or should I say a succulently suckable dick?
Quite a lot of thirst going on there.
There is a lot of femboy verse in the Zelda universe.
It's a good thing Zora's domain is full of water, because I am thirsty.
There's just one thing I know about Zelda, and it's the raw femboy verse that lies within. Also, the fact that on the Big Wow Big channel, one of our most popular videos is because me, a femboy, baited it.
Yeah. Well, everybody knows the best Nintendo game, Legend of Zelda: Guff of the Trup.
I'm sorry?
That's the artist name who makes all the femboy Link stuff.
Oh.
Guff Trup.
All of it?
Yeah,
there's a lot of it.
Like all of it. All the 3D stuff that anytime it's 3D femboy Link, it's always him. Actually, I don't know if it's it. I don't know their pronouns.
Well, hopefully they are not offended by us discussing their femboy porn on our show.
I mean, I would imagine it's quite famous.
Oh, yeah. I know.
The funny thing is that they have okay, this is the thing. They also do a majority of all the 3D Overwatch shit too. Well, not all of it because there's a lot of that because model ripping.
There's a lot of that.
But there's a very distinct 3D style. But the artist name usually is Fugtrup. Is the main account, but they have to have the second alternative one, Gufftrup, because that one is just for Legend of Zelda. That is an account purely for femboy Link, and it has to be its own account
for their passion. That's the main account.
Because you will, if you scroll that page, you will see media taken down by copyright holder, media taken down by rights holder, whatever. Nintendo is always just on the prowl, striking that shit down.
Re-upload.
You
never take away my femboy verse.
Yeah, Nintendo's straight up just oppressing us over here, taking away the femboys. You can't make the ultimate femboy and then try and hide him from the world.
There's been a crime against art.
Would you do a crime against art? Would you steal an art?
Would I steal an art? It would have to be a pretty cool art. I saw a video the other day of this kid poking a hole in a $1 million painting on accident just because he tripped with a pencil or something in a museum. And it was they pulled it down. And you would have thought this kid was going to get arrested or swatted. It was crazy. I was like, oh my God, I don't ever want to go to a museum after this.
No, it's scary.
I did actually go through the Ripley's, believe it or not, or whatever.
Oh.
There's also a place in Florida called Wonderworks or Wonder something. It's not Wonderwall.
Yeah, baby.
It's not Wonderwall.
You're talking about that before we started.
Is that what it's called? I don't know if it still exists. Wonderworks Orlando. Yeah, does this still exist? Yeah, it's this upside down building.
Oh, I think I've seen it.
It has this, I remember it having this hallway. I think it was this one and not Ripley's. It has this hallway that you go through that the walls are spinning, but you have to like walk straight through the hallway, and it like makes you feel like you're like gonna fall all the time. Yeah. But if you're not a pussy, you just walk there.
It's like Ocarina of Time Forest Temple.
Sure. I don't know what that means though.
Whatever. It's got a bunch of illusions and stuff, whatever.
Exactly.
God, you're too young to know about all these classics of gaming.
Right. And you're too old to not know about them.
Yeah. This has been a thing happening to me a lot recently. The majority of attention that I draw to my Twitch chat, like a majority of my regulars, and even like when new people come in, I don't know why, but there is a strong like 30s to 40-year-old audience in my Twitch. For some reason, like millennials, they just can't get enough of my shit.
I couldn't imagine why old people want to watch your stuff.
No, it's completely impossible to imagine. Let me tell you about my potted plants that I just set up.
Let me tell you about this new avocado bread I just found recently. It's crazy.
Dude, I got pepper jack cheese for my morning sandwiches. No, but it's so often in my chat. It happens so much. That's like I'm 22. I've been graduated for since 2020. It's 2024. I've been an adult for 4 years. And still to this day, it happens like almost weekly. Somebody in my Twitch chat will refer to me as a baby. They will refer to me as being baby. It's like, I am 20. I know that is relatively young, but all of these fucking ancient, decrepit tomb keepers, fucking crypt keeper, tales from the crypt looking ass, coming in my chat telling me, oh, you're so baby. Maybe you're just so old.
And there goes the downfall of your audience because you call them all old.
Nah, I call them old regardless. Because they started. They started, and I'm just like, you're old, you're ancient, you're turning to dust.
That's the funny thing is like so many people, when I was like 17, people thought I was like my age now. Like they thought I was like 24 or 23. And like I'm almost 25 and I'm like, dude, guys, I'm halfway to 30 from 20. You can't do the like baby thing anymore. Like it's just not how it works.
Yeah.
I'm like, I also have a chronic illness that mostly people older than all of you get. Like it's a really bad illness that mostly old people get. It's not fair for you to call me a baby. I'm not a baby. Stop calling me a baby.
Bitch, I started on New Game Plus.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And all of you fake haters out there hating, and just screw off.
You can frick off. Sorry, I'm too baby to say swear words. Frick off.
When will you learn? You guys can crap off.
You freaking fricks. Oh yeah, we saw that at Royal Rumble. Sammy Classic Sonic fan.
Yes, we're surprised to see Sammy Classic Sonic fan make his return to the wrestling world. But we did actually watch. We watched Royal Rumble last night. Yeah, baby. And it was fun. There were a lot of ain't no ways thrown around.
Oh yeah.
And I was just mainly disappointed that Roman Reigns kept his title. But
yeah, spoilers. Sorry.
I am not surprised. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, then don't watch this podcast. But you wouldn't know that until now. So fuck you,
dude. Roman Reigns, he's so fucking boring to me. He is like Fortnite Jonesy to WWE.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna lose it until WrestleMania. I think if he loses it, it's gonna be for Cody to like finish his story or whatever. CM Punk's probably gonna face Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't know what Gunther is gonna do with his IC title or Logan Paul with his US title. I'm surprised he retained it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's wild.
Logan Paul is the WWE United States champion still.
I mean, I think we can agree more so than, iconically CM Punk going toe-to-toe with Cody Rhodes. I think more iconic of the night is Logan Paul.
And Kevin Owens.
I mean, and Logan Paul bleeding again.
Yeah. Logan Paul did get the shit ripped from his insides.
Dude, at the end of it, he looked like a beauty blender.
Yeah. He did. He just got fucking railed. He got railed by a big man. Just a big man.
Big man. They always bring up that, like, Kevin Owens, that his kids are Logan Paul fans.
They do. The commentators always bring that up. They're like, that's gotta eat at Kevin Owens. That his kids are fans, big fans, just huge fans of this guy that he's about to fight in this wrestling match.
I mean, the commentators bringing that up, that's gonna be a big pain in the hip.
Yeah. There is also a running joke between me and Mia. A basically inside joke between only the two of us whenever we only watch wrestling, that the wrestlers always refer to women when they fall on their ass.
Or when they slam each other with their ass.
As their hip. So every time they do that and the announcers don't refer to it, we always refer to it, and we refer to it as the hip.
I think my favorite of last night, because that was from like an older thing that we were watching. I don't remember.
That was from the other day.
But my favorite of last night was Chop Fest.
Oh yeah, Chop Fest.
Chop Fest.
Yeah, I believe Gunther was just in the ring serving chops across different guys' chests, and one of the announcers just goes, Chop Fest. It sounded like a pop-up, like a website.
Yeah, it was like a Mortal Kombat, like toasty.
Speaking of content obsessions, I not only have been more so in the wrestling sphere in the last, like, I don't know, like
they don't wrestle in a sphere, it's a ring.
Last few months, especially since the CM Punk return, because that legitimately took me a while to like process mentally that he was back. I also just like couldn't stop yesterday, like, from myself. I mean, I guess the last couple of days, just watching content centered around Portal 2. Just because like I finished Portal 2 a while ago, but it was like so fun that, like, it's such an interesting game. I mean, Portal 1 as well, but Portal 2 especially.
I'm getting a call from my mom.
Oh, then I will just talk, I guess, for a little bit. What I was going to say about Portal 2 was that it is a very fun game, and so when I became somewhat nostalgic, it's hard to say nostalgia because I finished it like last year. I mean, it was nostalgia to some degree. And I did play it when I was a kid, but I played more so the multiplayer mode. I didn't play through the single player mode until this past year.
I'm back.
I guess it would have been 2023. Welcome back. This past year that I played through Portal 2, but I was just like in the mood for that kind of like Valve little game vibe. They have a very specific feel to them.
Valve games are infinitely replayable.
Yeah, they're like, it's just something about them.
They've got so much like personality. There's so much charm going on in every Valve game. I want you to get into Portal lore so then I can get you into Half-Life lore.
Well, I don't even... I mean, I know a great deal about Portal lore, but not that much.
If you want to know the true extent of Portal lore, you gotta know some Half-Life lore. It's good shit. I went on a binge like a year and a half, more than 2 years ago. No, not more than 2 years ago, but more than 1 year ago, somewhere in that ballpark. I went on a binge of like Half-Life lore and Portal lore. There's like a great video. It's like 3 or 4 hours long, and it's just like connecting all of the lore from Half-Life and Portal chronologically.
Oh yeah.
And it's such a fantastic watch. It was great.
And that's like, I guess when you would have played through both stories, Half-Life 1 and 2 and Portal 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I played Portal, and then I played Portal 2 like last year. But when I played Portal 2, I seen the intro sequence like 2 million fucking times. But I never, like, I almost just want to play it again because it just was like so, I don't know, those games are really easy to play through.
I mean, you can.
But what if I feel bad in the middle of it? What if I become ill and cannot finish and carry out my duties?
Look, it's tight gameplay. It's got fun level. Every Valve game comes down to it's tight gameplay. It has fun levels. It has a fun sort of second story plot line going on. And Portal 2, you got the benefit. You have British comedian Stephen Merchant, and he's rather good as Wheatley.
I do enjoy Wheatley. That is a big part of what I enjoyed about Portal 2. It was very funny.
They found a good way of adding on from where they had established with GLaDOS.
Yeah, that's true. I think they did a good job clashing those personalities because they created Wheatley and then they had to mix GLaDOS in. And there are some parts where you hear like GLaDOS like scream because you're like ripping her unit apart.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel kind of bad, but then you're like, oh yeah, you wanted to kill me though, like a million times.
You know what though? But there's something there. If you know the lore of Portal, then you sort of you don't forgive GLaDOS, but you kind of feel bad for her.
Don't you mean Carolyn?
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh! Oh god. There's not many games I've been able to experience that have shaken me up. Well, shaking me up's a little strong, but entertained me, such as Portal and Portal 2. I remember when I finished Portal 1, I was surprised at how fast it ended.
Yeah, it's pretty short.
A good one-off, if any of you would ever like to play it, I would recommend it.
You know why they had to add GLaDOS to the first game, to Portal 1 in the first place?
Why?
Without her there adding like any amount of other like secondary story or anything, players would get through the entirety of the game and then ask what happens after the tutorial.
That is funny. I mean, what do you expect?
There's also a bunch of cut GLaDOS voice lines where she's like 10,000 times more mean, and they cut it supposedly because she made the playtesters cry.
What, were the playtesters 5-year-old babies?
No, Valve playtesters are legitimately like little bitches. Historically, Valve playtesters are little bitches because like if you go listen to those, it's every lesbian's dream. Those cut GLaDOS lines because they're very intimidating, very very dominating lines.
That is funny. I have to listen to those at some point.
She'd be like, "No one likes you. Everybody hates you. You're nothing. You're worthless." And
she calls you fat in Portal 2, though.
Oh, yeah, of course. And she calls you a fat orphan, a fat ugly orphan who's an orphan because your parents didn't care about you because you were fat and ugly. She's great.
I was gonna say because you were fat and ugly.
You're a fat ugly orphan. It's great.
But GLaDOS said it for me. I also actually I think that's the same reason I love the Stanley Parable, because it's just there's so much personality in Kevin Brighting as a narrator. I mean, like, shit, if y'all have never seen the Stanley Parable, y'all should go watch my video on it, first of all. And then you should probably just go watch Markiplier play it, because that's a good showcase. Watching him play the Ultra Deluxe is a little annoying. It's hard for me to watch. It's just because he's so fucking stubborn in that video. He's very anti-go with the game's flow, and it's very upsetting, and it's very hard to watch. As someone who watched his first Stanley Parable playthrough 10 years ago, and who really likes the Stanley Parable.
Sometimes the Stanley Parable, though, it's like it does reward you for going against the flow. And so it's one of those things, like, you just gotta dig in your heels and wait for something to happen sometimes. But, yeah, sometimes you can just do that a bit too much.
That's true, but that's the thing, is that Markiplier, like, there's the whole bucket thing. And if you don't know what the bucket thing is, then you obviously haven't played or seen the game. But there's the bucket thing, and the bucket expands, like, half of the entire game, but Mark just wouldn't fucking deal with the bucket. And I was like, it like doubles the size of the game, though. Just like take the bucket with you.
Just do it.
I don't know if he eventually does, to be perfectly honest. I haven't watched that entire like 3.5 hour video. I might just skip past the first part.
I can't even remember who I watched play Ultra Deluxe, if it was Markiplier or somebody else. I just do not remember.
I played it on my channel. There are in my Stream VODs playlist, you can find my live stream VODs playlist, and if you scroll all the way down, there is my first playthrough, the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, which was a recording an almost 2-hour recording I did playing through it because I had just stopped to stream and I didn't want to go live again, but I forgot that day that it came out. So I needed to record my first impressions because I could not wait to play it.
Fun fact about the Stanley Parable that brings it back to what we were just talking about. Stanley Parable, before it got its own official release, was a Half-Life mod.
Yes, it was.
The entirety of of Stanley Parable 1 is just built in Half-Life and Source.
But also, the second thing is that there's a 5-hour VOD on my channel that is more Stanley Parable and Overwatch 2 first impressions because Overwatch 2 had just come out at the time too. And that was, when was this around?
October 2022?
No, May 2022.
For October? Yeah. For Overwatch 2?
It looks like it was around that time, yeah.
I thought it was like October that Overwatch 2. No, I guess not.
Nope, it was the spring.
You know, my favorite thing, my experience with Overwatch 2 is trying to play it day one and it just being fucking gone. Just didn't fucking work. And then having the exact same. Activision Blizzard has a great track record. Because tried playing Overwatch 2 on release day, didn't fucking work, servers were down. Tried playing Warzone 2 on release day, didn't fucking work, servers were down. Shit was so broken on both parts there.
Yeah, they're really good at that.
Yeah, it's like taking something very nice out of its ornate display case and shoving it in a paper bag.
There is also something that I almost wish I had turned into videos, possibly. A stream VOD of mine. That was a double face cam Fall Guys with Chandler.
Ah.
I've had a lot of double face cam with Chandler on my streams before, which is always just really funny. I've always just thought that was a really easy thing to do, and it's really fun to do. I think it's very fun because you can do it no problem.
What's so great is that, like, you know, we can do like live double face cam and there will be like, you know, maybe like a quarter of a second delay between like you speaking and the other person that you have on stream with you over call. And like, that's just a common thing now for streamers and whatever, that you can just have somebody else just fully there, just have them on your screen streamed in and it'll be, you know, basically instantaneous, very little delay. And meanwhile, still in the news world, still in the world of like, you know, I watch like my dad watches a lot of football. And apparently, like, Peyton Manning and Eli, like, they have basically a sports podcast that they do alongside football games. They'll be, like, on the sidebar of the screen doing, like, a sports podcast. You know, we have this now. We are across the country from each other. Speaking to each other, we can, like, synchronize things easily and have very little delay in this, even in a live format. Yet somehow, even in this world of fancy television equipment, and still it'll be like an insane delay. And it's like, that's what I do not get why there is still such a massive production crew behind things like that. Like simple little, like, it is two people sitting in front of a camera talking to each other, and there's probably about 10 people behind the camera on either side. And it's still, even with all of that equipment, it's still shit. It's still like, you know, one of them tells a joke and the other one laughs 10 seconds later. How is it still so far behind in that technology?
I have no idea.
Honestly, like, they should just ditch the whole setup. Just put both of them in a fucking Discord call. What do you think the hottest form of communication is going to be after Discord?
After Discord?
How are people going to start communicating? We had smoke signals, we had Skype, in that order, and now we have Discord.
I think just like letters, just mail is just gonna make a comeback. I see
back to letters.
I think we're just gonna go back to writing letters.
I don't know which is more like. Both seem equally likely at this moment. That either people forget how to write completely or people forget how to type completely. Because I see already a lot of people that are like, the fuck are they called? Gen Alpha, like you're like 13, 14 and younger, iPad baby generation. I see a lot of sentiment within that they do not know how to type. They don't know how to use computers. And then there's the other side of they don't know how to write. They don't know how to do whatever. It's like, it's a mixed bag of like a complete lack of education in both of those departments in different places. So it's like there's some people that's like they don't know how to use a keyboard. They can type on their phone, but they cannot use a keyboard. They cannot use a mouse or a computer. But also because everything's so digital and moving in the direction of digital, people are writing way less. It's probably only every maybe like 6 months or so that I actually have to write something on paper instead of just typing it down somewhere. Like physically writing something is basically an antiquity at this point.
Yeah, that sure is a big word.
Antiquity?
Yeah.
Antiquity's nuts. Oh.
Hit it with an RKO in midair. I write a lot of stuff. I don't like hold back from writing just because it's really convenient. I just like having a notebook and using it for whatever I need. I used to write out my thoughts in a notebook. Now I write out like notes and stuff I need in a notebook. The only thing I use digitally for things like that is I make my grocery list digitally.
The only times I write now is if I need to take like notes or something in like a game that I'm playing. If I'm playing like Silent Hill or something and I need to like write down pertinent information, it's easier to write it down physically than in like a notes app for me.
Right.
Right. You know that's how Jeff Bezos laughs, kind of. He does not laugh like a person.
I don't.
His laugh is straight up like like the most douchey rich guy laugh you can imagine. You know, I feel like Elon Musk being a shithead in the past couple years has really taken a lot of heat off of Jeff Bezos.
That's fair to say.
Really done him a service.
Something else we watched yesterday was NSP's new video, Galaxy Hamster, their new song, which is really good.
You're not gonna believe this. I still have not listened to Level Up. I still have a fucking CD and pin of it on my shelf, and I still haven't listened to it.
You have it physically? You have a physical copy of this album you haven't listened to?
Yeah, because I pre-ordered
of songs you've already heard, just better.
It's weird. I just don't listen to a lot of like albums these days. Like I don't listen to a lot of new music.
Just don't really have favorite things.
I just don't really have. Yeah, way to yes and.
Yeah, I did. And
like I don't watch movies often. I don't listen to full albums or like listen to new music, really. It's very, very rare. I have to be in a very specific mood to want that. I just haven't been in the mood to like listen to an NSP album. Whatever, like I love NSP, love their music. I'll still like if I listen to anything of that variety these days, it's a lot of the Super Guitar Brothers album that Dan featured on. I don't really listen to like NSP as NSP is. I'm just not really ever I love it, but I'm never in the mood for it.
I like to consume as much as I can when I want to. It's hard sometimes, but whenever I get the itch to do something like play through a game or watch a movie, or like I had a film assignment I had to watch a movie for, so I had to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once for this assignment. So I just finally got to see that movie, and it was actually really good. It put me in the mood to consume more stuff, and it's usually when I push to consume something that I end up liking that I do that. But with music, it's different. I'm always on top of my favorite artist's new stuff.
Yeah, I just don't seek out new things like ever.
I just let them come to me, and then I turn them on and I go. That's what happened with Leap. That's what happened with Full Metal Kaiju. That's what happened with Level Up. That's what will happen with these nuts.
I'm just in my own little world a lot of the times, and I think I'm chill with that. I think I'm kind of just chill, just being like, not, you know, I'm not like in like, shun the outside world. Just sit here in my fucking like the orchid guy from Twin Peaks. I like what I like, and I like to engage with the stuff that I feel like engaging with, and stuff that is outside of that. I still haven't like popped into the Discord that everybody hangs out in. I haven't been in there in like half a year or more, and it's just because I just don't feel like it. I just feel like doing other shit, and so I do other shit. I just kind of exist in that state.
Yeah,
just doing whatever. I picked up woodworking a couple months back, just hobby woodworking, and now I'm trying to grow tomatoes. I'm just doing whatever.
I mean, certainly, if you have other things to do, then that's definitely something to consider. You should definitely take up personal interests better.
Life is that thing that happens when I'm making sandwiches and growing tomatoes. That's life to me. That's what I strive for, is all that.
And that sounds nice. I have similar things. A lot of that media I consume is part of my little world like that. I don't do it to enter an expansive world beyond me. Like when I complete games and I finish them, it's like, that's why it's like so hard for me to stream games like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I just want to play them and I just want to enjoy them as a gamer. This is why I'm going to college, so that if I don't end up wanting to make content around games, I could do something else.
It's such a weird thing, having done, like, I've been doing gaming content for, like a decade, basically. Like, I know guaranteed at this point it's been at least a decade. And
I started in 2013.
Yeah, I started somewhere around like 2013 or 14. It's like a weird thing where now my relationship with video games these days is like, it's almost impossible for me to separate creator brain from just enjoying video games. It's, I imagine, probably the same way that, like film review channels are about watching movies. It's like, this is, even if I am playing a video game in my own time, not on stream, not for any content, there's still an aspect of it that feels like, kind of like you're at work. Where it's like, there's the relationship that I have with video games has become a more professional sort of relationship, regardless of the context. I can't play a game without creator brain.
It's almost, I don't know if I'd say the opposite, but it's quite a contrast for me in the way of, I can only play so many games on live stream that I can actually go for a long time in. When I stream, I almost have more interest in just like talking and being there. Like I played, Portal 2, Doom 2016, Batman Arkham Asylum. I played all of those on my own offline, and I had a blast playing them. I would have much rather played them on my own than streaming. It's very different.
I kind of get the feeling if I want to play a video game not on stream, I kind of get the feeling with it, like almost like the feeling a baker would have eating half of their product. If I play a game start to finish off stream in no way for content, it feels like wasted material almost. It almost feels selfish to just play a game on my own.
Yeah, I don't like when my brain makes me feel like that. That's why I'm like, I definitely think this is like the last year that like I'm going to give content, or especially gaming content, like a serious run. And then if by the end of the year I still don't want to make gaming content, then I'm probably just never going to make it again.
Yeah.
Because I want to just play video games and enjoy them. And if I can do that with my Twitch audience, great. Fantastic.
How controversial.
But if not, then I'm just going to like watch you do it and do this podcast and just graduate from college and do whatever that ends up serving me.
I have reached the point now in my content making that it's still like making content is still like the number one thing that I enjoy to do. Like if I don't have anything to do in a day, if I have a day where I can't stream, that's a boring day. That's a day where I'm just numb and I'm just like, get it over with. Because that's like what I like to do with my time, with my days. My primary enjoyment comes from that. And so it's like, even though I'm still in that, over the past year, it has been, the conversation has been open way more towards the direction of like looking at other things. At my current priorities and the things that I still enjoy now is still just doing what I'm doing right now. I'm still enjoying doing that. But when I think about like any kind of future plans, I think about the viability of any of it. I think about like, you got to have a life at some point. And it's like, I'm starting to, right. I'm reaching the point of like doing other shit and like stepping, like not like, I don't think I could ever step away fully from making content. Tell the truth. I think it's just a part of me forever because it's been a part of me since before I even knew what YouTube was. Like I was already destined on that path with just the way I was. And so like, I don't think I could ever rid myself of making content. I always want to be making something. But when I think about like where I actually want to be, what I want to like spend my time on and do, sometimes other avenues they just start to look appealing.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to where we are to be like, I'm going to do this one thing for the rest of my life. That's impossible. But there's so many options. I mean, like, I could say I see it as being a part of me forever. I do see that, but I see it more in the way of, like, I'll always be, like, I feel like I'll always be connected to that world somehow, but I don't think it'll be in the creator way always.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think I need to be the personality. I very much enjoy just watching things. Like, I'd rather just be able to, like, watch playthroughs of games or play them and enjoy that and not have to be like, no, I have to wait until 6 p.m. on Saturday so that I can stream it. Because I don't, I've become a lot more self-fulfilling in the last, like, year or two. I've become a lot more, like, focused on satisfying my needs and creating hobbies that actually make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
Because playing Fortnite and Warzone on stream 3 times a week does not make me happy.
Nah, I can't imagine.
The most enjoyable, because I like the gameplay of both of those games, but I can't just treat them like a job or it's not going to be fun. Like, I want to fill out the Fortnite Battle Pass for myself, or unlock COD weapon camos for myself because I grinded and it was fun. There's just, like, there's a line, and I guess we're on somewhat 2 different sides of it, but I just find that interesting. As 2 people who were bred from the same crop,
Yeah.
Like, we, as much as you're from Indiana and I'm from Georgia, you know what? That changes the whole argument. Hold on, let me start over. No, but, like, there's so many games that I've, like, looked at and been like, this would be cool to stream. And I'm noticing myself getting back into that, where it's like, no, I should save this for stream, because, like, what if I play it on stream? It's like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't like that. I don't like what it turns my brain into.
The longer that you do it for, this sort of career-long thing, making content, the longer you do it, the more it starts to add up, the things that you think about, like, the other things in life that you miss while doing it. Like, the things that you lose by it's so hard, boo-hoo. It's there's life that happens outside of content that is overlooked for the sake of pushing out the fucking product. It's like
that is another part of it.
I love streaming. It's what I want to do. I need my driver's license eventually. It fucks with your priorities.
That's another part of it. Yeah, I would rather enjoy the real life parts of life, even if that's being on Discord with my friends. That's still more real than me being an entertainment platform for other people, which is fine.
That's why I got non-digital hobbies.
I'm happy that other people find my content entertaining. I really do, because I did put a lot of work into a lot of my content. Oh my God. Sorry, I just noticed a huge sale on Steam, and it was
oh my God.
Is the game went down from $89.99 to $29.69.
Oh, fuck yeah.
67%. I'm not getting it, though. Because, side story, I got paid from my job. Job. That game. Isn't there a game called Job?
That's in Jackbox, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Anyway, so I got paid from my real job, as if I get paid from the not real one. They had, like, a glitch in the direct deposit thing. That's just what I heard. I'm putting air quotes around glitch. And I had to get a physical check and deposit it for the first time since my first job, which, by the way, was almost 10 years ago, straight up.
Ew.
I have been an employee in customer service for actually almost a decade, which is more wild than the content thing, for the record. That's crazy, because I started working when I was 15. So when I'm 25, not too long into 25 as well, because I started working, like, right after 15. I will have been in customer service for 10 years, which is fucking wild to me, because as a kid before that, it was like the one thing I wanted to do forever. I was always just like, I can't wait to, like, get a job and start making my own money. It was really about the money, but also it was cool to work. Like, when I was 15 and I worked at that, like, little ice cream shop, I would get tips all the time just because I would, like, dance and sing around the fucking restaurant while I was serving people ice cream, and they loved it. Because I was just this, like,
go monkey go.
I was just this little, like, monkey, showing off for them, because it was fun. And I also got to eat sample spoons of ice cream all the time.
I love just running around, just eating peanuts off the floor and humping people's legs and having a great time.
I love when people would come in and they let me hump their leg. just a good humping leg, you know. But anyway, yeah. So that was my point. Was like I've been waiting on a couple game purchases, but I'm waiting for my check to be processed because I processed it Friday night, which means it won't be done until Monday.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah. Somehow they always have ways of processing when you want to take money out over the weekends and make purchases, but not when you want to put money in.
It's just
as
sad.
if it's not just a
sad.
fucking computer doing it.
It's just I deposited my check digitally too. Is the thing.
There are so many services that exist to this day that are so annoying because it's like there is zero way that this process is anything more than moving 1 kilobyte of text from one spreadsheet to another, and a computer would do it automatically in less than a millisecond. Yeah. And it is going to take 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way there's anything more happening here than the transfer of a spreadsheet.
What that breaks down to is go fuck yourself.
Fucking old brain disease. So many olds these days. You know, truly, when you think about it, we have to deal with so many more old people than the rest of human history combined. Because the average lifespan,
they were all dying before.
Yeah, average lifespan keeps getting higher and higher, and so we just have to exist with more and more old people. Like that's what the roads. You know, this wasn't an issue back when the lifespan was still like, oh, you might make it to 65. You didn't have the roads full of fucking geezers crashing into street lights and whatever.
Yeah, you never had it as easy. You never had it as hard as we did. You'll never know what we went through.
Look, they don't have to. People in previous generations and all of human history, they have never had to deal with so much lead paint stare. Think about how simple it must have been to deal with old people back about 200 years ago when technology was still moving pretty slowly. And then, you know, you get old and it's like, well, you know, grandpa can still get around and he still knows how to go into town and buy groceries. No other generation in all of human history has ever had to teach an old person how to use an iPhone. That's a hell that we get to live through.
Yeah, but I also don't think kids existed until like the 1950s. Like I think it was just all adults before that. I think they were just placed on the earth by God. I think he just put them all down here. And then eventually he was like, okay, you guys seem like you can make your own, so I'll just leave for a while.
Yeah. Just planted them.
Just simply placed them on the surface and just to see what they would do.
They figured out how to fuck. My job here is done.
Exactly. Nobody knew how to have sex until the 1950s.
Yeah. What's like the one period of history that like under no circumstances would you want to go back to? Like people always ask like, what's the one, like what part of history would you like to go visit? No, which one would you like never want to visit?
I don't know, most of it. I mean,
yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't.
A lot of it sucks.
I don't live in the past mentally. Why would I want to live in any of it?
We didn't have toilets, and then we did get toilets, but then we got racism.
I would just want to go back to a caveman and play the iPhone alarm noise and scare the shit out of him. Just gonna go back to caveman era and just walk into a cave where they're all sleeping and just like play like calm piano to relax the brain for 12 hours. Or something like that.
Put on like the fucking like those baby sensory videos.
Yeah, like
put on, like the baby sensory videos that they put on as like classical music. It's like, this is supposed to help your child's brain develop better, and your child will be smarter if they're listening to Mozart. Just put that for the cavemen and just expedite evolution by about 10 million years.
Something like that, yeah.
Just go back to the moment before they discovered fire. And then start like right before they discover fire, just take like bendy metal sheet and go
just make them scream and run, just like. But that's why I would go back to the stupid ones that don't know how to like talk, because it would be funny.
What's the one thing that you would bring back in time if you wanted to like impress a caveman or something, or like an ancient person? What's like the one thing you could bring back and they'd be like, no fucking way?
To like impress them?
Like, what would legitimately send them into, like, catatonic shock because they can't believe their eyes?
Probably if I flew an airplane into the past and just flew it into their cave and destroyed it.
Me personally, Family Guy season 1.
You'd show them Family Guy season 1?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you'd have to bring back like
oh my god, Mansa Musa.
You'd have to bring back like the most like plasma flat screen, like most modern TV that would play 1999 Family Guy at 60 FPS or whatever.
You just bring just your phone with a fucking like the Instagram dog filter and hold it up to their face and they'd be like,
yeah.
Oh. Imagine going back in time and putting like the bold glamour filter on a caveman.
Someone's probably done something like that, I'm sure. Probably with like makeup and stuff.
Oh my god, yassifying cavemen.
Yes, queen.
Yes. Oh, speaking of time travel things, something very funny. Recently, the flight logs for Jeffrey Epstein, you know, like who actually went to his island, who was on his plane. Those logs were released recently, and some people discovered on it Stephen Hawking. Famously, Stephen Hawking, he did like a thing where he publicly advertised that he was having a party, but he advertised the party after the party had happened. So that way he'd be like, it was like a time traveler party. He was like, this party is happening on this day at this time in this location. But he only mentioned it after. If time travelers want to show up and prove their existence, then show up at that party. It's kind of like a dumb thought experiment. It's not scientific in any way, but it's just a thing that he did. And now people think, because he was on the Epstein flight log, is like, maybe the reason nobody showed up wasn't because we don't have time travel, but maybe because nobody wanted to go to friend of Jeffrey Epstein, Stephen Hawking's private party.
Yeah, maybe not.
You got to think about the future with that one, that maybe they can time travel, they just don't like you. I like to imagine there's like fourth dimensional beings that very well could just prove their existence at any moment, but they just hate you.
They just purely don't want anything to do with you.
They just hate you.
If they could reveal their existence to anybody, it wouldn't be you.
They have no reason to hide their existence other than just to spite you. Who was it? Was it Tosh? Daniel Tosh? Apparently, he's a sissy blue-haired liberal, according to some people.
Is that right?
I don't know why, but people for some reason are looking to Mr. Tosh.0 himself as a political bastion. As far as I'm aware, he's not even really like political, but the small amount of politics that he does have, for some reason, people have just been going apeshit over.
I have never seen him express legitimate political views.
So who are you voting for this year?
Who am I voting for this year? Good question. Except that it's not. It's a bad question. I don't fucking need it right now.
It's not even like, when it comes to an election like that, and it's like, okay, it's going to be either this one very well-known candidate or other very well-known candidate. I don't need to do research on either of these candidates. I don't have to pay a singular lick of attention to the election cycle until it's actually time to vote, because it doesn't matter. It's, you know, it's the same people every fucking year. It's like, I don't need to research this. I can just show up on the day of and be as ready as can be.
Yeah.
It genuinely feels like at this point, like, you know, last election was the year that I turned 18. I could vote for the first time, and I was like, wow, I can vote. And now I'm already just over it. I'm like, oh boy, I can't wait.
Yeah, because why would you, like, it's just so annoying. Yeah, like, vote, but like, do we really have that many good choices? You're just making us pick the lesser of two bads.
It's all the same shit.
Fuck voting. Fuck voting, I'll say it.
You should still vote, but it's not like your options are
good. Fuck voting. Voting sucks, don't do it. Fuck voting.
No! Democracy starts with you.
Democracy's fucking Fuck it. Fuck democracy.
Protect
Fuck
your
voting.
freedom.
Why don't you stop voting and instead protect these nuts?
Yeah, why don't you stop voting and get some bitches?
Yeah, fuck you. You're all losers. Don't vote. It doesn't matter. And if you do vote, I'm telling your mom, and guess what she's gonna do about it? Fuck me, because I'm hotter than your dad. I'm also tired, and I'm running out of podcast material.
Closing shift 2024.
What's the quote that you're tying to this moment?
Closing shift 2024. Campaign slogan. Something like, what was Obama's?
Wasn't it like Go Obama? I don't know what it was.
GoObama.com.
Go Obama.
No, his was fuck, it's a famous thing. It's iconic, and I just can't remember it right now.
What, like the blue and red?
Yeah,
People
the blue
power.
and red, and yeah, Power Rangers go.
People power.
Fucking, what was Obama's? Oh yeah, his was Yes We Can.
Oh.
Or like he had like a bunch of stuff about like change.
Yes, we can change.
Oh yeah, and it like the classic like blue and red, it just says hope.
Oh, that's right.
And it just says like hope, it just says change. It's all those.
Fine. My slogan is no, we can't. And instead of hope, it says nope.
Closing shift 2024. No yeet.
No yeet.
Yeah. That's another wrestling cut. You wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get it.
You guys wouldn't get it.
Go watch Royal Rumble 2024.
Yeah, go watch Main Event Jey
God,
Uso.
what are you still doing here? This podcast is over. Go watch Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Boo womp.
Go watch Naomi tear it up for an hour.
That's true.
All right, bye.
See you later.